Okay, let's talk about another company then. And Raymond, that's the one in focus right now. The case for a chat for Raymond today, of course, has been their growing balance sheet, the narrowing of their losses, which they've seen. More importantly, the revival of the same-store sales growth that we have seen for Raymond. Remember, there's been a cyclical revival in textiles as well. They're upping their home furnishing strategy. And of course, there is this entire yuan devaluation impact as well that we're going to try and analyze with the management of Raymond today. Sanjay Behl, CEO at Raymond, joins us on the show right now. Sanjay, hi, good morning. Good to chat with you. Tell us how the business is looking right now.
Hi, good morning. In fact, we are seeing significant momentum building up in Raymond businesses. The quarter one specific numbers that you mentioned were very healthy. In fact, for the core business of textile and apparel, most of our strategic core businesses have actually grown and recorded an absolute positive profit, both at operational level and at an EBT level. So I think overall, if you see the last about 6 quarters, quarter on quarter, we have been improving on our top line growth and actually supported fairly adequately with operating margin increase, now resulting in a product-centric kind of an organization to a customer-centric organization, which is quite significant because we were running disparate businesses in the space of textile and apparel. From there, we have become 5 clearly defined customer strategic business units supported with functional organizations, which become the islands of excellence. That's really the first fundamental cornerstone of the change that we have brought about at Raymond. The second one really was to take a deep dive and outsource almost every non-core activity to this sector. And then we have outsourced 100% of our information technology, including the hardware, the software, the business intelligence, the business analytics piece, the entire lock, stock and barrel. We have given it to Accenture for a 10-year kind of a partnership, and so on and so forth. The many processes in admin and utilities, almost entire processes have been outsourced now. And really the idea is to focus on the core. The third real focus has been to build, hire and develop the best talent in the core areas that we have identified. And we have gone for this 2/3, 1/3 kind of a broad framework where 2/3 of the talent from internal from Raymond we have been nurturing, developing and giving them larger responsibilities in the strategic areas. And about 1/3 of our talent in the last about a year and a half has actually been externally hired, not just in India, but actually the globally best talent, whether it's creative design, be it retail talent, be it marketing talent, brand talent, product design talent. And we've actually been fairly having a very large appetite to absorb the best talent that we could. Apart from these 3 fundamental changes, which have really started yielding good results now, there is a dramatic focus on brand and product rejuvenation. You've seen a change in the brand direction in the last about a year or so, where we've gone not only just focusing on the complete man or the thematic part of the engagement with our consumers, but actually come out with strong product-based advertising. We've seen 100% linen, we've seen made-to-measure advertising. All these have resulted in dramatic elasticity to consumer engagement and eventually turning to profitable business outcomes.
Right.
Understand what is really happening in the apparel business. I looked at your same store sales. First I got excited, then I understood the fine print that that's largely because of the magic of discounts. So do you think at a time when you've got competition coming from new brands, existing players, online retail, sales are here to stay, deep discounts are here to stay?
Yeah, the L2L growth that you talked about in our apparel brands actually has been extremely healthy. Last quarter, it was 6% compared to an industry average typically of a very marginal single digit 1 to 2% kind of a growth. So For us, on our apparel brands, it's about 6%. On a renovated store basis in Raymond shops, we are clocking upwards of 25% like-to-like sales growth. So yes, there is a discounting which as an industry phenomenon has seen a real upsurge post e-commerce play getting traction now over the last about, again, 6 to 8 quarters. But I think the only counter to that for us is to continue to sharpen our products and brand portfolio, and I think we are very, very focused. In fact, as per Raymond portfolio, if you see, we've cut down our SKUs very dramatically by about 35 to 40% of the tail has been stopped over the last about 4 seasons. There, we've been gradually bringing it down. We are sharpening our products there, and in fact, our discount percentage has come down as part of the overall portfolio, despite a very aggressive 18% growth that we've got across our 4 brands in the last quarter. And I think this is the 6th quarter of a double-digit top-line growth and a very aggressive profit growth. So there are ways to really offset the discounting phenomena that is happening. The second part really is the discounting phenomena is really on the commoditized end of the apparel value chain. It's really on the casual end and absolutely sub 1,000 rupee price point kind of a segment where it is seeing the maximum amount of volatility. So I think for strong brands which continue to invest in the right customer value, I don't think it's such a serious concern, really.
Sanjay, another talking point has been the fact that Chinese have recently devalued their currency. Is this going to bring about some dumping of their goods into Indian markets, and would competition for you guys only heat up?
Yeah, Chinese in the 2 tranches that they've done over the last about 4 weeks have brought down or tried to make themselves more competitive through currency revaluation by about 3% or so. We hear that there is some more tranches going to come as we go forward. Now, China does have 60% of global fabric manufacturing capacity, so it does have some impact at the global level and does have at some end some competitive rebalancing versus India. But however, I stay extremely bullish and positive on India because India has about 16% of global manufacturing capacity, and so is the population. About 1/6 of population pretty much remains in India, and about half of the textile manufacturing that we do in India is really exported there. So the competitiveness in Indian textile industry actually is driven by multiple factors and not just Forex alone. Actually, the key factors in the garment export side, which India is extremely big, is on the wage rates and power. These are 2 components which virtually continue to be fairly competitive versus China, even for the next 2 to 3 year perspective. So one is this competitiveness is going to continue. The second is also that China is actually, again, very, very strong on commoditized global market, whereas India, in textile apparel, there is also a skill and craftsmanship which comes into the play. For example, half and full canvas jackets, we are the only players in the entire Asian market to be having the skill to make it. So that market is pretty much there and will continue to be there with the players like Raymond and so on and so forth, the industry players who have a skill and craftsmanship based capabilities in their organization. Yeah.
Sanjay, very quickly tell me more about what's the strategy for Raymond Home. How many new stores are you looking at opening? And again, stiff competition there from already existing players, domestic ones at that.
Yeah, in fact, for Raymond, it's a premature, I think, point of time for us to commit to a very large ambition around home. We've just kind of been testing waters over the last about 4 or 6 quarters, and we have a very sharp range of bed and bath apparel suite, which is extremely high quality and has seen very, very good traction from customers. And the reason for which we have been investing now in exclusive retail for home segment. At this point of time, to be specific, we have 5 stores, franchisee stores, selling Raymond Home products. And the plan is really in the next 4 quarters to take this number up to about 25. But we are also seeing the other channel, which is really playing extremely well for us, is the e-commerce channel, where our bed and bath suite is getting very, very good traction and preference there. So I think early days, we still have to scale up our sourcing capabilities, our supply chain, our retail distribution. But yes, to be specific, we're looking at about 25 home stores, Raymond exclusive home stores in the next 1 year.
Good luck, Sanjay. Glad you could join us. And once again, thank you for your patience and thank you for standing by.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Jayaprakash Associates is the top traded counter, but that's a 10 rupee stock. Really doesn't matter what that stock is doing.